All right, what's up, guys? I'm making this video for anyone who has 88 to, I think 2000, 88 to 2000 Honda Fourtrax 300, a 4x4 model. Now, we all know the Honda Rancher 4x4 models were four-wheel drive, and they did not have a two-wheel drive option. They had a solid front drive shaft. There used to be, I think they were Warren 424s is what they were called, where you could have you could put in the Warren drive shaft and have a cable that would pop in and out that you could go into 2- and 4-wheel drive, and it would mount up here on the handlebars. I cannot find one. I cannot find a company that sells one. I cannot find a used one. And I think we all know that 4x4 is a better option for off-roading, mudding, pulling, anything like that. But 4-wheel drive is not that much fun, guys. Let's be honest. 4-wheel drive is not that fun. These are not the most powerful four-wheelers, so in 4-wheel drive, you're not doing many donuts. You're not really drifting unless you're on super loose gravel. There's not much any of that sliding the rear end, none of that type of stuff. Now, you cannot just remove the front drive shaft on these four-wheelers, because the front drive shaft is the seal for the oil in the front diff and the mid diff. If you pull that differential out, the oil will drain out of the mid diff and the front diff because it is not therefore sealed on the spline end. I learned that the hard way by trying to pull that. I unbolted the front diff, rolled it forward, and pulled that drive shaft out and lost all my oil. And they don't make anything you can plug in there that's like the drive shaft. So the drive shaft has to stay in there, to my knowledge, stay in there to keep it sealed. Now, I had a scrap Honda 300 that had old beat up CV axles in it, because I put brand new CV axles in this four-wheeler about 6 months ago. Let me zoom out so y'all can see this. This is the two boots, the two big metal cups that would be on the CV axle. You need this and you need this. This is what goes through the spindle or steering knuckle, as you say it. It goes through, and the mounting plate for the wheel mounts onto this on the other side, on that spline right there. So you cannot take the CV axles out. Without this, your tire will just fall off. But you can, there are clips on the inside of these. There are big clips that you can just pop out, and the CV axle will come out of both ends. And you can just click this end in here to keep your front differential from getting nasty and dirty. This seals the front diff, and this is in the steering knuckle, and it is holding the tire on, and that ain't gonna go anywhere. So that is how you can, you're only gonna get only two-wheel drive or only four-wheel drive. But I've been through a lot of mud in this four-wheeler. It does really good in the mud in four-wheel drive, and I don't plan, in the summertime, I plan on doing a lot of joyriding, a lot of dirt roads, taking my kids out, and it rides way smoother, it steers way smoother. The power is just a little bit better because it's not having to turn all four tires. And if I ever plan on going deep in the mud, and I know it takes me 30 minutes to pop the front end loose and pop my brand new CV axles back in there, and that's all there is to it. So for right now, it is two-wheel drive. It's not damaging anything. There's nothing wrong with it. But in order to make it four-wheel drive again, I would have to pop this stuff loose, which is not hard. You pop the bottom control arm loose, you pop the shock loose, you take the tire off, and you take the steering knuckle bolt out, and it is pretty self-explanatory. These just pop in and out. So yeah, that is a way that you can make a four-wheel drive model Fourtrax two-wheel drive temporarily, or however you want it to be. For comfort, whether that's sliding, drifting, or donuts, it does all of that like a piece of cake now. It's so fun. It'll drift, it'll slide, it'll do donuts like nothing. And it's so much more comfortable to drive. The steering is better. It's way more comfortable, but you're going to lose a lot of performance in the mud and going up hills per se. But I wanted to make this video because I've been trying to find a way to make it two-wheel drive for a while, and I haven't come across anything. So I had this idea from watching a guy. He took his CV axles out and he did a boot kit. He put a new boot on it, and I seen the way he took it apart. I was like, well, if I can take the axle out of the big D cups, I'm calling these the D cups right here. The D cups is what has to be on the four-wheeler. It has to be on there for you to ride it. And I was like, well, we can just take the axle out, and then that'll be that. So yeah, it is a four-wheel drive four-wheeler made two-wheel drive. If I ever want to go back to four-wheel drive, I can just snap the new CV axles right back in it, about 30 minutes, and ride on. So If you got one of these that's four-wheel drive and you don't necessarily need it or you don't like it, you can make it two-wheel drive and not hurt it at all. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I made this video because I really wanted to do it, so maybe this will help someone else out that wants to do it. And yeah, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoy.